Hey, so this is an update of the SEO I have done for my website, which is this one right here, Infinity Home Buyers. And I am only aiming to rank this URL, right? So my website is basically it's two websites. Is this one, Infinity Home Buyers USA, which I use for a PPC nationwide. So for that particular website, I am not doing SEO because it's nationwide, is too big. Instead, what I'm doing is one city, specifically in Florida, which is my local market. And so for that, I created this landing page. We buy houses, Port St. Lucie, and I'm doing all the work for this website. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you the top like three to five things that I have done in the last 3 months, which is when I started to do work on this website. Mm, Now we are on January 2026, and I started on November. I think it was probably like middle of November. So in only about 6 weeks or so, I went and right now on the first page for We Buy Houses, Port St. Lucie. That's where I am. And mm, this is if you see here the last 3 months, actually even more, last 12 months. I remember when I did this the first time, I was on position 95, right? And obviously it's an average. If I were to be exactly on November, let's actually do it just so you know if this thing that I'm going to show you in this video is how good it is. So I started November, that's what I remember. So let's do October 1st to October 30th, which is 2025, no, 2025 right here, 2025. Let me just change it, 2025. Okay. So now I think on October 1st to October, again, this is doing 2024, which is incorrect. 25, October 30th. Okay. So I just wanted to show you that on October of 2025, which is 3 months ago, no, not even 3 months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, I was on position 93. That's when I started to do this SEO for We Buy Houses Port St. Lucie. Okay, so then now you go back to the last 3 months. We went to 40, 42, 28 days, position 17, which is the second page on Google, and then last 7 days, position 6. Last 24 hours, for some reason, it went down to 11. I guess there is a variation, but I've been checking this, and usually, and basically, for certain keywords for We Buy Houses PSL or Port St. Lucie, as of yesterday, I was on position number 2, which is pretty good. But according here to the Google Search Console, the website is on average position, but it looks like it changes, position 6. But bottom line, I'm already on the first page. Obviously, the goal is to get to the number 1. My goal of this thing is to be number 1 for this particular um, keyword. Okay, so let me tell you really quick, so we don't make this video that long. 3 things that I have done. Number 1, again, I made the decision to only focus all my work on this URL. All right, so basically I'm going to leave the main landing page on the website. It's not going to have any SEO done. Why? Because it's too wide, or it's nationwide. It's a nationwide website. But here on the local one, my strategy is to start with Port St. Lucie, which if you see it on the map, basically I'm dividing the work on every 3 months. I'm gonna do work on one city. 3 months later, I'm gonna do my second city, which is gonna be West Palm Beach. 3 months later, I'm gonna do work on Miami, and then 3 months later, I'm gonna do Jacksonville. So this is a 1 year program, and at the end of 1 year, I'm gonna be number 1 on those 4 cities. But somehow, the most important one is your first city, which is for my case is Port St. Lucie. Why? Because if I position this one high, then the whole domain becomes an authority domain. So then every time I add a new city, it's going to rank faster. All right. So that's kind of like the strategy behind that. All right. So for this particular URL, I also have a local phone number. The page plus the phone number is managed via Go High Level. And this number here is connected to an AI voice. So ideally, when a lead call or text is already directly connected to an AI voice. All right. Uh, Using ChatGPT, actually, I redid this text. All this text has keywords, keywords friendly. All of these texts right here, these two. I had some random text before, and now I just did whatever the ChatGPT told me to put there. Same thing, ChatGPT, all this text was changed, and also ChatGPT asked me or suggested for me to add a few sections here on the landing page. So I added this one, and about frequently asked questions with keywords, the locations that we serve, because ideally my main goal is here Port St. Lucie, but Port St. Lucie is part of a county that has all of these other small locations. So by putting these keywords here, ideally you are also targeting these keywords, right, which are locations nearby. All right. All this section as well was suggested by ChatGPT. And the other main thing here on the website is we created this footage with these links, certain links that are important and again suggested by ChatGPT. So all I did is I added whatever ChatGPT told me to do. All right. Now, so that's related to the landing page. So the landing page, you do work on this couple of days, and now you have everything you need on your URL. All right. Now, the way I have done literally just two things. Number one, created this blog. It's a blog where we create articles, and every article should be 1800 to 2000 words. All right. And it's always about real estate, selling, you target the keywords that the seller will be searching for, and then you develop these subjects, right, with a lot of keywords. But there is also certain density of keywords. If you overdo the keywords and you name it too many times, then the Google will punish you. Same thing with links. You got to link these strategically. These are, for example, this one, sell house as is Port St. Lucie. So you click on it, and then you are always targeting your URL, right? Um, so for every article, you got to link about 3 times, 3 links on each article. That's it. And the article is also obviously also done via ChatGPT or Gemini. That way, and it's search SEO optimized. All right. So you do articles. How many articles do you do per week? 3 articles. You cannot, somebody will say, hey, let's do 30 articles today and just post it. If you do that, you get punished. What Google wants to see is that you constantly add, just like a newspaper, constantly add new content, fresh content. So what you do is you create these articles, and this blog is managed also via Go High Level. You set it up on Go High Level, and you post it, and you schedule it. All right, you schedule it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm posting 3 times per day. I'm sorry, per week, and I'm doing it Wednesdays, Fridays, Sundays, always. All right. So this takes time. You gotta create the article. You gotta create an image for the article, and then you get posted. All right. So that's one very strong part of the strategy is to control how many articles you can create and stay constant. Right? That would be one thing. Then the second thing I'm doing is I'm creating And by the way, the articles here on the blog, they are created so you show to Google that you are an active website. That is a website that is alive in producing content. And all the content is related to selling. And for my particular keyword, I'm selling in Port St. Lucie, selling houses in Port St. Lucie. So Google starts to see you as an authority on this. All right. Now, the other thing that Google wants to see are citations. Citations are other websites that name your website. And the naming of your website is always with the same URL and the same phone number, the same address, etc. Right? So for that, what I did is I created a multiple social media accounts. So I'm going to show you here the what I did for YouTube. And what I did for YouTube is exactly what I did for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and then I added recently Pinterest. But on Pinterest, the strategy is a little bit different. But on YouTube and the other video websites, this is the strategy. You create a profile with ideally the same handle in all the websites, so the same one on Instagram, etc. And here on the profile, these are a keyword rich profile, and the citations are these. The citations is Google wants to see that your website, which is this URL right here, is always mentioned with the same phone number and kind of like the same we buy houses here in Port St. Lucie, right? That's a citation. So on your profile on this website, I just do it one time. I create a link here with these keywords that are important, and I do the same thing on TikTok and the other ones, Instagram and Facebook. And when it comes to the content, the strategy here is to create shorts. All of these have been done via Sora. So I sign up for Sora, pay $20, and I'll be testing how to create these kind of videos. Now, if you notice, these videos are not about real estate. So these videos are not meant to target my audience or to find actually leads with this video. All right, so keep that in mind. The opposite is what we want with these videos. This is like a meme account, just for memes account, just to post fun stuff that people just watch, and it's nothing related to real estate what we sell, right? The idea for that is because we only want to create signals here, signals where Google gets to see that, oh, this page is associated with this page, whatever this page is doing here is giving a link back to this website, right? But when we create signals, what would be the signals? 93 views, 43 views, 800 views. Those are signals in the eyes of Google, because that it means, oh, okay, so whoever is doing this account is posting things that are interesting. 800 views, 70 views, 1500 views, and so far this one is the best one, 9,000 views. Okay, so those social media accounts again are not to generate leads, it's only to create signals. So when Google see a lot of good signals from TikTok, from YouTube, from Facebook, then that will help the rankings. Not people, Google will say, oh, somehow this company creates quality content. That's why they get 9,000 views and multiple likes. All right. So in the next 3 months, in the next quarter, my goal is I'm gonna create a second account on those same social media, on YouTube, TikTok, and that second account will actually be with videos to create authority, where I educate my potential buyers or sellers, right? So it's a second account. So one is just for traffic, which is this one, and then there is gonna be, which I haven't done yet because you gotta do one by one. But on the next 3 months, I'm gonna create a second account with actual content target to my audience in Port St. Lucie sellers in Port St. Lucie. Or I could just make it sellers in the whole state of Florida because they have common situations. But at that point, I'm going to be creating more valuable content related to education, right? But your first account, and so far it's working, it has me now on the first page of Google. These accounts are working. And I post exactly the same videos. And these are like 8 seconds videos. I create them on Sora and I post them using Go High Level schedule, one video per day. So I'm creating seven videos every single week. So then again, Google gets to see that hey, you post fresh content every day. So Google give you a reward for that. All right, now the other thing is, as you do these videos, you develop your skill of creating videos as well. So in the beginning, I was, one quick strategy when you go to Sora is just to, this video, for example, was a video that was already very popular on Sora. So Sora allows you to do a remix. And all you do is you say, hey, make the video in Port St. Lucie and you change it. So then, for example, in this case, the women will say, oh, it was a video already about supermarket, but I say, hey, make it about Publix, which is a Florida brand, and make the lady say, mention the word Port St. Lucie. All right. So then now the video is already viral. I'm not creating anything new. All I'm doing is a version, and Sora takes care of just changing a little bit and make it about Port St. Lucie. All right. One thing that I was doing is creating the video on Sora, and then I will I use CapCut to put this watermark, to also work on the branding, making, brand, work on the brand of the company, Infinity Home Buyers, right? You don't need to do it, but I thought it was a good touch on top of helping me with the rankings. I also want to start to develop the brand. And I was doing this watermark, which is a second step after you create the video. But what I've been doing now is just as part of the prompt when I create the video, which is this one, check out this video. I told Sora, just take a video that is already viral, and it says here, we buy houses on the hat, and over here it says Infinity Home Buyers, which is my brand. And then it's exactly the same video that other people have, but I just play around with my brand. And in this case, I put the watermark, but little trick here is that I don't need to put the watermark anymore like in the latest videos. I am just putting my brand as part of the video.
You ever notice Florida lawyers have mastered the art of calm? No matter what story you hit them with, they just nod and go, okay, and at the end they'll tell you, if it happened in Florida, it's already in the paperwork. You ever notice Florida...
See, this is a character that I'm trying to develop. It's a dog on a podcast. And as you can see here, it came out with headphones and with a tuxedo, which is how I want it to look. Here, it didn't do it. I posted anyway. And here also the brand was cut off. Here it did it the right way. Put my brand in the back, Infinity Home Buyers. And so this video don't need to do the extra step to put the watermark, which means that this video can be done really quick and just posted via Go High Level. All right. But anyway, so that's the concept of this social media. So those are the two things you need, or I would say three things. Number one, work on your website, on the landing page with the basic text that needs to be done. And obviously, let me just, so is that, and there are some technical part here on the landing page, like there's something called the H1 text, which is like the big text here in the beginning. So this is very important, that is related to the keywords that you're pursuing. Okay. And one thing you can do is just use ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to work on my website. Here is my website. This is the text on my website. What changes do you suggest? and ChatGPT will suggest what to do. Okay. Um, so that's it. So three things to do on the first quarter, the first 3 months. One, spend a few days fixing your landing page. Make sure that is optimized. Uh, Pick up the URL here, the proper URL. That's number one. Second, create your social media channels with your brand and start posting. Get Sora and start posting like meme videos, which are the easy to create. That'll be second thing, and then the third thing, to create the blog. The blog is extremely important. Those two. And so far, as you can see, I have not tried to get links from other websites or link exchange or guest post. I haven't done any of that. Just these two actions. Keep this thing constant, one post per day, and keep the blog constant, 3 blogs per week. That's my cadence. And so far, in again, we started middle of November to middle of December. That's 4 weeks. I think it's my 7 week right now. I'm into my 7 week. Next week is gonna be 2 months doing this, and I'm already on the first page. Average position 6. It's giving me an average position, but I have seen it these days when I check my keywords using the incognito uh, window, as high as number 2. All right. So what does it tell us? That this thing works. This is a good strategy. Social media, social accounts, plus the blogs work. A few things that I want to do in the future are to I want to become a brand here on Port St. Lucie. So I want people to recognize me or my brand, right? Infinity Home Buyers. So one of the things that I'm going to do is to acquire links. There are 2 links that I would like to acquire. Number one, I'm going to join the Chamber of Commerce of Port St. Lucie. They charge like about $500 for the year. So you will have to, pay for that membership. And now you're part of the Commerce Association, whatever that is. And they will give you a link. And I'm going to tell them, hey, give me a link to this website. So I'm buying the link by being part of this group. And the second one that I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a link. I'm going to become a sponsor for my local shelter here in Port St. Lucie. So that's also an important link from an outside website that will show Google that I'm a local business. And does it cost money? Yes, but it's a long-term investment. All right. Uh, what else should I mention here? Nothing. Just those 3 things that I just mentioned are the most important one. As you can see, it works. It's working so far. Now, maybe I just want to finish with this. If I were to just not to do the okay, wait, let me just show you something that is also important. Let's go to an incognito window and say we buy houses for St. Lucie. That's kind of like the best way to do it, and I have right now a VPN connected to Miami, which is not Port St. Lucie, but it's nearby, Florida. So I haven't done this, but this is key. Location, to have a local on Google Maps. Just list your website with it's called business. What is it called? Google Business GPS. Google Business. Forgot the other word, but it's basically Google Maps. Extremely important that right now I'm not here. My website is not here because right now I'm not in Port St. Lucie physically. So when I try to add it, you have to verify the business, show a video that you are in that location, and I couldn't do it. So this one thing is extremely important. I haven't done it so far. That way, when somebody looks for this keyword, my company needs to show here, Infinity Home Buyers, right? I need to show here on this tab 3, so I need to show multiple places. Right here, one on the organic. That's going to be 2. And right now I'm showing here really, actually, I'm not even on the first page. Again, this changes by the day. And right now they put me here on page 11. Yesterday I was on number 2. I don't know exactly what happened, but anyway. So what I'm trying to say is that you wanna be you wanna build your brand and you wanna be here on the locations. You gotta be there and with multiple reviews. So that's a whole strategy on the site. And I am not here again. It's because I'm not located right now in Port St. Lucie and I couldn't get a location verified, but I need to do it. And you should take care of this immediately from the beginning. And you want to show here, you want to show the organic number 1, number 2 when once we do all the work that we're gonna do. And then if you are paying for PPC, then you're also gonna be showing on the sponsor ads. Okay, that way it looks like you are everywhere. All right, so that's gonna be the goal long term. The other thing I wanted to mention is the pay per click for this particular. If I were to just pay Google to buy sponsor ads, every lead we generate from Google for Port St. Lucie is probably like around $200 per lead. Very expensive. And that's why we are instead of spending $200 per lead and doing this work for search engine SEO, that is gonna be long term. Once we get ranked, we're gonna get those links, these clicks here for free, and for many years to come. So it's a good investment. But even though this thing started to show results in like 6 weeks, mentally, when I started to do the work, I say, hey, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be at least 6 months before I start getting leads. 6 months. So this is a long-term strategy. But once we are positioned on number 1 here, it's gonna bring us leads long term for many more years. All right. So that's why I want you to understand that this is a long term strategy and slow. I might be start getting leads soon because I'm already on some searches or some days rank number 2 on the first page. So when that happens, I'm gonna start getting leads. However, my goal here is to at least 6 months of work to start getting more leads here in Port St. Lucie. And again, my personal plan, I share this with you. I want to share this with you, is that I will not stop. As soon as I get Port St. Lucie, check out this, what happened. As soon as I get Port St. Lucie, this is the map. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do West Palm Beach with the same URL, with the same website, Infinity Home Buyers. Then I'm gonna go to Miami. So my goal is to spend about 3 months of work on every city. So 3 months here on West Palm Beach, which is gonna be Q1 on 2025. I'm sorry, this one is gonna be Q2. Then I go to Miami in Q3, right here to Miami in Q3, and then Q4 for this year 2026, I'm gonna go here to Jacksonville, right? And then next year I'm gonna do Orlando and maybe Tampa. Then I'm gonna do other locations. So by the time, again, this is a long-term strategy. I'm gonna be doing SEO for this website for the next at least 3 years, 4 years. But after 4 years, ideally, Infinity Home Buyers is gonna be everywhere on the top 3 on Google. All right. And why that is important? Let's say 3 years. You're like, oh, 3 years is a long time. But guess what? I have spent a lot of money on PPC for the last about 10 years. 10 years on PPC. Guess what? If you run out of money on PPC, it's very expensive, very competitive. You're no longer on Google. However, if you do the work of SEO and you put the time, you pay your dues for the next 3 years, then you get to dominate the whole state. And imagine how many leads that is going to mean. And leads into sales, is worth the investment. SEO is worth it, so you can build your brand, and this is a legacy website. All right, so that's my update. Again, on getting close to be only 2 months doing work. Now, how many leads did I get out of this? I got one lead so far. So even though I'm on some days, especially in the recent weeks, on the first page of Google, this thing is still not producing leads, right? But I am sure that if hopefully the next update that I do 2 months from today, you will see better. Yeah, now I hope ideally getting some leads. All right, so that's the update. Hopefully you got some value here, and if you have questions, you're welcome to ask me questions. Thank you.